So we're gonna try to make this as PG as possible due to YouTube and podcast restrictions. But as the scene progresses, we see that Kim Dan is not really comfortable with the whole situation that Jaekyung put him into. But he is trying to push himself to go through with it for the $5,000. Jaekyung is trying to get Dan to be comfortable with him and the whole situation. He tells Dan that he knows how he feels. Not really. He is trying to make him overcome his anxiety though. Jaekyung is, let's just say, very cold at the same time though. Like, he's trying to make Dan overcome the anxiety, but a part of him is also very cold towards Dan. And you can really see that Dan is not enjoying this whole thing. Jaekyung asked Dan if he wants to stop, but since Dan needs the money, continue they go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hottest and wildest yaoi podcast on the planet. Get ready to fan yourself because things are about to get steamy. That's right, it's time for Zealed Fujoshi, the show that's all about yaoi manga. I am Cece, your host, the ultimate Fujoshi, who's always on the hunt for the hottest and juiciest and most thrilling yaoi manga out there. I've read it all, and I'm not afraid to share my honest and unfiltered thoughts with you. From sweet and romantic love stories to spicy and steamy tales, I got you covered. My reviews are not only informative, but also hilarious. So you can expect to laugh your socks off while I spill the tea on your favorite yaoi manga. But before we start, this podcast is explicit. We'll be discussing mature themes, explicit themes, and all things that makes yaoi manga so delicious. So if you're not comfortable with that, it's probably best you tune out now. Let's get one thing clear though. Spoiler alert, I am not afraid to dish out spoilers. So if you haven't read the manga we're talking about, you might want to skip this episode. But if you're brave enough to join us, we promise to make it worth your while. If you're ready to join us on this spicy adventure, grab a cold drink and a cozy blanket and get ready to join me on this wild ride of passion, laughter, and all things yaoi. Welcome to Zealed Fujoshi. PG-13, okay? This scene is intense and very steamy, and it's hard not to feel a little bit hot under the collar listening, or at least reading through the pages of this series. Jaekyung is an expert in what he does though. That is clearly shown in this chapter. Kim Dan is just going with the flow at this point. It's kind of sad seeing him though. He's really being swept in the moment at this point. And as the night progresses, we see that Kim Dan is really not getting into it. He's just really trying to force himself so that Jaekyung can just get it out of his system. Jaekyung, on the other hand, is really enjoying himself though. The next day, Kim Dan wakes up feeling a little bit confused, but about what happened the night before. It's pretty obvious that he's not sure whether he regrets it or not, but he knows that he needs the money. We can see that he's really shaken up with this whole situation. As the day goes on, I kind of feel like Dan is more and more conflicted about what happened with Jaekyung. He's not sure if he wants to do it again, but if he's also not sure if, he's not sure if he wants to stop. He's in a lot of debt, right? He's confused, he's scared, and he knows he needs the money. As the episode comes to a close, we see Kim Dan struggling a lot. His feelings, his need for the money. We're left wondering what's going to happen next and if he'll be able to handle the consequences of his actions. The episode was definitely a roller coaster of emotions. Can't wait to see what happens next. Attention to all yaoi manga lovers out there. Are you a talented individual with a passion for all things Fujoshi? If so, Zealed Fujoshi wants you. We're on the hunt for a team member to join our passionate and hilarious crew. If you have a knack for reviewing yaoi manga, a love for all things spicy and steamy, and a desire to share your opinion with the world, then we want to hear from you. Join our team and help us spread the Fujoshi spirit to all corners of the world. Whether you're a writer, editor, or a social media guru, we want your talent and expertise to take Zealed Fujoshi to the next level. So, if you're ready to embark on this exciting journey with us, reach out to us in the description below and let's make magic happen. Join the Zealed Fujoshi team today. Let's show the world what the Fujoshi spirit is all about. And that's a wrap. Fellow Fujoshis and Fudanshis, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Zealed Fujoshi, where we dished out all the hottest and juiciest yaoi manga. Remember to follow me on social media where I share even more yaoi goodness and behind the scenes content. And if you're loving the manga I am reviewing, don't forget to support the author, creator by purchasing their work and spreading the word to your fellow Fujoshis and Fudanshi friends. Thanks for tuning in, Zealed Fujoshi, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Until then, keep the Fujoshi spirit alive.